Alright, and welcome to Exponential Inverses. Now number 1 says find the inverse function of f of x equals 1/3 parentheses 2 to the power of x minus 4 plus 2. Well, let's go ahead and do all of our standard things. We know we're going to change f of x into y is equal to 1/3 parentheses 2 x to the power of x minus 4 plus 2. And I think it'd be a good practice for me to write 1. We change f of x into y. Alright, number 2. Let's say with this, we're going to switch our x and our y. And so what does that look like? Well, of course, y becomes x becomes y, and we can write the rest of it in place. So x is equal to 1/3 parentheses 2 to the power of y minus 4 plus 2. And then, of course, from here, we know that for our third step, we wanted to solve for y. Okay, well, let's always start out with our easy steps. We know we can get rid of our constant by subtracting 2 minus 2, and now I have x minus 2 equals, going back to our nice little blue color here, 1/3 parentheses 2 to the y minus 4. And from here we know we have to get rid of our multiplication. Remember, you don't want to divide by a fraction, so we're going to multiply by the inverse, 3/1, or aka we're going to multiply by 3. Now remember, sometimes you'll see people actually distribute this, other times you'll see people not distribute it. I'm going to distribute it for this case. So we have 3 times x and 3 times negative 2, which will now of course give us 3x minus 6 is equal to 2 to the power of y minus 4. Now in this case, this is our big idea. Remember, how in the world do you get a variable out of the exponent? Well, here you have to take the log of both sides, so we'll take the log of the left and the right, and remember, this allows our exponent to come down in front. So what does this look like? Well, of course, we can rewrite it as this. The log of 3x minus 6 equals, and the one part that I'll keep in our blue is the one part that really didn't change. This y minus 4 comes down to the front, and then notice we have the remainder of log of 2. Okay, pretty straightforward from here. We know that from here we simply want to divide both sides by the log of 2, divide by the log of 2, and this is our change of base rule, where whatever we divide by, that number becomes the base. So log base 2 of 3x minus 6 is equal to, back to our normal color, y minus 4. Now from here we're one step away. We know that we'll add 4 to both sides, add 4. And since our y value is back to being by itself, step 4, we just change y to f inverse of x. Let's go and do that. We can rewrite this as f inverse of x equals log base 2 of 3x minus 6. Pretty easy. Now, I know that is very, very cramped, so let me go ahead and just erase some things here real quick. Give us some space. Pause the video if you need to take those notes or rewind it, and let's say, hey, here's our answer. F inverse of x is equal to the log base 2 of 3x minus 6. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at a second example. Okay, example number 2. Let's go ahead and do the easy stuff. We know we always change our f of x into y is equal to 1/2 parentheses 3 to the x plus 5 minus 1. Now for our big idea, how do you find the inverse of any function? Well, of course, we switch our x and our y. And so as I rewrite this, instead of y equals, we have x equals 1/2 parentheses 3 to the power of y plus 5 minus 1. Now from here, let's go ahead and start solving for y. We know that we can go ahead and add 1 to both sides. It's kind of grass green. And now we have x plus 1 is equal to 1/2, 3 to the y. At this point, we are pros by now. How do we get rid of this 1/2? Well, we multiply by its reciprocal, 2/1, which is aka 2. And we can say 2 times x, well that is of course is 2x, 2 times 1 is 2, is equal to our remainder, 3 to the y, I forgot to mark plus 5 there, y plus 5. Now at this point, how in the world do we get our variable out of the exponent? we should know that our trick is to take the log of both sides, putting that left-hand side entirely in parentheses, and you can always draw an arrow down to the front. So what in the world does this look like? Well, we now have the log of 2x plus 2 is equal to, and in blue, remember this, y plus 5, everything in the exponent comes down in front. And switching back to this off orange, we have the log of 3. Okay. Now from here, remember, what do we do to get this y plus 5 by itself? Well, we simply divide both sides by the log of 3, which allows us to do our change of base, and we can rewrite this as the log base 3 of 2x plus 2 is equal to y plus 5. Now from here, we will simply subtract 5 from both sides, minus 5, and you can finish the problem by rewriting y as f inverse of x is equal to the log base 3 of 2x plus 2 parentheses minus 5. And that's it. That's how you finish the problem. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see y'all in our next video.